Mm. Alrighty, good evening, good evening. Let's see if I can bring up the feed. Here we go. Oh, All right, I'll just give it a minute for some people to join. Excuse me. Now, I wonder if people have joined. What's going on here? Let's see if I can bring it up. Oh, bit of technical problems. Here we go. Oh, I found you. Hi, Wendy. My tablet's a bit cold tonight. It doesn't want to play ball. How are you, lovely? I've got a few people watching. I know it's a Saturday night. People have lives and plans and things like that, but you can always catch us up on the replay. How are you, Wendy, darling? I hope you've had a nice weekend. Winter has well and truly hit us here in Canberra, so I am freezing. But thankfully, my craft desk is right under one of our heater vents, so it's not too bad. Hey, Peggy, welcome, welcome. Hey, Karen, good evening. So Peggy is a very, very good old friend of mine who's recently gotten into art journaling, and I know that she's done a number of orders with Nat, so she's come to the dark side and joined the rest of us. It's freezing, yeah, it is absolutely freezing, Minnie. All right, so just a reminder before we kick off to please make sure that you're a member of the Natalie May Scrapbooking Creative Community Facebook group. Not only did the brand ambassador share everything there, but all of our wonderful community crafters, of which there are many, many, many talented people out there. Oh, thank you, Wendy. They're actually I did those for the retreat for the rainbow theme, and I haven't got rid of them yet. I'll need to go and get them recolored, I think. Good evening, Shirley. Hi, Daphne. Thanks for joining me on a cold winter's night. So, you might have seen this week, Nat released the new collage papers and some new cuttables. I'm really obsessed with her cuttables, but this just might be my favorite collage paper release, maybe ever, that she's ever done. That's a big statement, I know, because she's got beautiful collage papers, but I am a massive bookworm, so this is right up my alley. So the entire collection is called Library Days, and then each actual collage paper has its own name. So this one is called Your Only Limit Is Your Mind. Hi, Kate. Oh, from Sydney. Thanks for joining us. I hope I said that right, Kate. Sharon, good evening. They're gorgeous, aren't they, Wendy? They're just beautiful. This one's called Never Stop Learning. I might not have all the names because I have started using them and ripping them to pieces. This one's called Embrace the Mistakes. That one's beautiful. So me and the other brand ambassadors have been playing with these. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at some of the ones that I have created. You would have seen Nat showed some of the ones on the live reveal, but they'll also be posted on the main Facebook page as well over the coming days. So keep an eye on that, as well as all the brand ambassadors' personal social pages. So for me, mine's Gold Moon Creates. Then we've got Naomi with Turkey Creations and whatnot. So make sure you're following us all to keep up to date. So this is the little one I did. Your imagination is a weapon of mass destruction, using some of Nat's leaf stencils. I think they're the watercolor stems, I think they're called. And of course, some text stenciling in the background there. I used a few journals because I was impatient and I didn't want to wait um, for things to dry. So I just kept going. So this is in the Dina Wakley Ledger Journal. I did two larger ones. This one was probably my favorite, maybe second favorite collage paper image. And then I really liked her as well. She's kind of got that beautiful vintageness about her. So some two fun big ones. I think I'd like to ghost this a little bit better around the edges to blend it because it's a little bit stark, but I can come back and finish that later if it really bothers me. I think there'll be only two in that one. Hi, Bear. Another Sydney. Hope you're feeling better, Bear. Um, what did I do in this one? Somewhere in here. Oh, yep. So this is more a little bit more of my abstracty background. So this was just a page out of a magazine. I just did some random mark making on top of it, and then put the collage paper straight down on top. I didn't actually use any gel medium. Oh, excuse me. So that's why you can't see any of the it's not like the background's really not solidly coming through. And just a quote out of that same magazine. I will apologize. I am recovering from some sort of horrible head cold. So I might be sounding a little bit odd or coughing a little bit. So I do apologize in advance. Having art withdrawals. Yeah, you would be. That's sometimes the worst part, isn't it? And then this is another really cute one that I did. I incorporated some of the new stamps that Nat's released, as well as some older Dina Wakley stamps on book paper. Excuse me. For those who have been watching me for a while, you guys know that I'm a bit obsessed with book paper. I use it as often as possible. And then another little one. So this is the 6x6 Uniquely Creative Craft art journal. One of my favorites. If you don't have time to commit to a big whole page, or you just want something short, sharp, and quick, or you want something to practice in, these are really, really great journals. It comes in the craft paper, so the brown, but it also comes in white as well. I haven't started my white one yet. I only just got it because I finished my other one. So that's my new white one. Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Susan. And Michelle. Thanks for popping in, Michelle, and finding the time. So this is a sweet little one. Just a lot of mark making stamped over the top of book paper. And this is one I did earlier today, actually, I think. So Born to Read. I love the little cuttables. So for those who have never used the cuttables before, how they're different to collage paper is this is collage paper, so you use a gel medium, and you use water to rip around the image that you want you gel medium on. But these are done on thicker cardstock, if you can see that real well. Um, so the idea is that you cut them out and you can use them on top of a page like this. So it stands up a little bit more from the background, whereas the collage paper you want to blend into the background. The other great thing that Nat's done with these particular ones is these are actually ATC sizes. So these are 9 centimeters by 6.5 centimeters. So you could cut these out, add some embellishments, a quote, some stamping, whatever you want to do. And you've got a set of ATCs as well. So really quite versatile. They'd also be, I reckon, excellent as card fronts. I'm not a big card maker, but I reckon some of you clever ladies are going to make some beautiful cards out of those. So let's have a play with the new set tonight. And where are we going to play? We're going to play this one. I think we'll go slightly bigger. How is everyone's weekend going so far? Warmer than mine, I hope. I'm just going to move some of these journals right out of my way. And of course, I need to grab a book to rip up, don't I? No, not that one. Here we go. Excellent. Oh, have I lost you all again? So this is the Art by Marlene journal. I would have to check the website to see if it's still in stock. There was a couple of sizes. This is the larger size. And then, oh, if I can get it out, there's also a little mini size one as well. But I've done a little bit of work in here. So these are the little great ones. Oh, I haven't been actually working on the back of them. The front side is matte, but the back side is glossy. You could put gesso over it, depending on what sort of medium you wanted to use on it. But yeah, I've not been using the back sides of it. Maybe when I run out of journal space in other journals, I'll come back and gesso them. Alrighty, so there's one there. Nice clean page here. And all I've got here is just a novel. I picked it up from Vinnie's. Maybe it was $1, $2, something like that. I go on the weekends when all their books are half price. Although I don't know how anybody else feels, but Vinnie's getting quite expensive to shop at of late. I have noticed. Um, so yeah, just cheap books. So I actually love Karen Slaughter. I've read all her books. She's a really great author. So I kind of like, this is not, I keep my books as trophies, so this was a double. I like using authors' books that I actually like as well. I don't know, it's just a personal thing. You are freezing in Adelaide, yeah, yeah. For those who are not familiar with Canberra, we've got a mountain range called the Brindabellas, and there was snow on them the last couple of mornings. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That seems right. So let's have a quick look. Look at these vintage ones, aren't they lovely? Not feeling very vintage vibey tonight, though, I must say. She's quite sweet with the flowers there. Let's pick a collage paper. Actually, Sharon, do you guys get snow near Adelaide? Or close by? We've got like the snowfields where people come up to go. Oh, I like to go skiing. It's only like an hour and a bit away from Canberra. Might have to go butterflies, hey? Never got to use books. Yeah, great idea. So a lot of background collage stuff. I love this paper, and I'm just going to rip it up randomly. I'm not really thinking about it. I've actually got a little tub that's just got random bits of book paper that I've ripped up previously and not used yet. The one thing I will say, and I think I've said it before, just be careful with the books that you're choosing because I read a lot of thriller murder mysteries. So sometimes there's some like graphic words or graphic themes being described with some, sweary words. So just be careful when you're putting your book paper down, what's what words are actually showing. I mean, you can always cover them up with paint or a stencil or whatever you want, but yeah. I think since I've lived here 30 years, it has snowed once. Mount Lofty, near where the retreat was. Oh, there you go, Karen. You miss Canberra. It's cold. Why would you miss here? Hey, Naomi. How you doing tonight, lovely? Surprise, surprise, I'm using book paper. So again, I'm not being too careful or precise with my rips. I am going down in strips though, instead of across tonight. Sort of depends on what you're going. Too big. There we go. All right. Just trying to have a read of your book paper now. Yeah, scan it for me, Karen. Make sure I'm not putting any nasty words on the page. I've done it before, and my darling sweet daughter is the one who pointed it out to me. Oh, Mummy, I can see the F word in the back of your journal page. I was like, oh, yes, so you can. Oops, bit of paint, fix that right up. Alrighty. So I'm going to stick this down. I'm using the Dina Wakley gel medium. Wouldn't want to use Joan Collins books. Well, yeah, I suppose murder mysteries are not the only thing that could be problematic, right? There's lots of people I hear these days into these spicy, fantasy, romancy sort of books. It's not my style, but I know a few people who are a bit obsessed at the moment. I never remember. It's something to do with roses. Trying to get small fry into bed. Oh no. Doesn't want to go to sleep, hey? I always feel guilty for hurting them. Oh, Vicky, I'm exactly the same. So, like Naomi, Peggy, they'll all tell you I'm a massive book lover. And I really initially didn't do it because I can't rip up a book. Someone could love and read that. But then, we've got a book fair down in Canberra called the Lifeline Book Fair, and books that don't get sold often end up in landfill. And then I was like, well, you know what? I would prefer to take some of these books that people obviously don't want anymore and give them a new life and a new home in art. So that's how I reframed it so I didn't feel as guilty ripping them to pieces and sticking them in my journals. I hope that helps, lovely. You'll be tearing the Joan Collins books up into tiny little bits. Yeah. Mills and Boone. So they're the old school romantic ones, aren't they? So when I'm ripping up my book paper, I do try to like, I've just left the bottom of the book there. There's no writing. I don't love that. But we can cover that up with stenciling, with stamps, with a bit of paint. I've just done it again. Yeah. Hey Tina, how you going? Joan or Jackie Collins? Yeah, maybe it's Jackie Collins. Jackie's a pretty yeah. Is anybody crafting along with me tonight? Has anyone already ordered the new book papers? The new collage papers, sorry. Put books on the brain. I think Peggy did, didn't you, darling? There we go. Ah, I'm happy with that as the start of our background. So a few people at the retreat actually asked me why my gel medium was yellow because their Dina Wakley ones were white. I really don't know. Um, I hadn't noticed until other people started pointing it out to me, but there's not absolutely nothing wrong with that. It works an absolute treat. And it is my favorite gel medium. Um, I sometimes use the Liquitex brand, but this is really expensive and it's really, really liquidy. So I accidentally, like, Naomi will tell you I already use too much gel medium than I need to because I'm worried that things won't stick properly. But that one just comes out too fast, but price tag as well. You ordered a few and some of the new All and Create stamps. They were really cute, weren't they? Yes, Wendy, you will absolutely need to place an order. So I'm just going to rip the tops of these off. I'm not going to come in with scissors because I'm not too concerned if they're really, really neat. Let me just get rid of some of these book paper scraps out of your vision. Put them down there. I just got a little box next to me. I throw a little collage sort of footer into it. Ordered with a whole heap of stuff, but I don't know what. That's kind of fun though, Kate. Then it's a surprise for yourself, right? Then it's an absolute surprise. That stick properly. So that's a bit wet. So everyone just watch your ears for one moment. I'm going to give this a hit with a heat gun. So this is the heat gun I've used. I got this from Nat a little while ago. I'm not sure if she still has the same one. Naomi, if you're still online, you might be able to ask that for us. But she does have heat guns. So I'm just going to give this a quick dry. I'm not getting too close to the paper. I don't want it to burn. And I'm not leaving the heat gun in one place for too long. Because I don't want to rip the paper too. That's a bit better. The pages are drying a lot slower in these cold nights. So taking, you have to be patient. Just not very good at being patient. Amy's loving the art by Marlene Parrots. Oh, you're onto a second page. I saw her first page, and when she reveals it, you guys are going to absolutely love it. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Mm. All right, so now I'm going to put some paint down. I'm just deciding on colors. Often what I do when I'm looking for colors, I'll go, if I've already picked my focal piece, that is, look what's in there and try and use colors that are similar or are going to complement. I've done a lot of blue pages recently. There's a lot of blue in there, isn't there? No, doesn't matter. I'm going to go blues. So let's just pick out a couple of blue colors. I'm using Dina Wakley paints. Um, it is my favorite brand of paint. I do have quite a few Art by Marlene ones as well. I like them for different reasons. This is probably my favorite color in the entire world, azure. Um, but I do prefer Dina's. I just think they're a little bit more opaque, and the kind of painting and art that I do, I prefer a little bit more opaque. Now, I don't think I really want turquoise here. I think I want deeper blues tonight, so we might even pull out a bit of sapphire. Plenty of the heat tools still. Ah, excellent. No, that's okay, darling. Yeah, really great. Heat tools are a great investment, especially for these cold, cold nights in winter. All right, so I'm just going to use a size 18 by Marlene brush. Now, I'm very lucky. My darling husband bought me one of the Tim Holtz glass mats, so I'm very, very lucky. But you can just use like I think Tammy uses an old Chinese lid or a palette. You can buy palettes pretty cheaply as well. But I do have the luxury of having that. Now I'm just getting scrap piece of paper. It's going here because I'm a messy crafter and I always get it on the next page over, right? Just gonna get some blues in here now. I'm going in between and slightly over the book paper. I don't want it completely cover the book paper though. Because Dina's paints are so opaque, then what was the point of me putting the book paper down if you can no longer see it? It was a wasted effort. So I'm sort of just going in, around, and between. Oh, thank you, Karen. She has just linked the Kazaz heat tool there for you if you don't already have a way to heat things up. Oh, watch notifications. You know, so I'm being very messy, very grungy. I'm not too stressed about getting full coverage. This is my first layer, and I'm going to build and build and build layers up. Oh, thank you, Sharon's done it too. Heat tool link, not sure if the page will let me post. Thank you, Sharon. See, look at our beautiful community. It's all gorgeous. Okay. Now, I think I want to keep quite a bit of that book paper showing, so I might go shady now with some stenciling over the top in a slightly lighter color. So that was sapphire that we just used. It's the darkest, I think the second darkest blue. The darkest blue is actually one called Marine, and it's like a bluey black. It is beautiful, actually. I'll leave it out and maybe we'll do some stenciling with it. So I'm going to go to the stencil that I'm currently absolutely obsessed with. I think it's called something alphas, mega alphas. Um, I don't think there's been a journal page that I've done recently that has not had this in the background in some form or another. I like it. It's like typewriter letters. I'll put it there on the white so you can see it better. Now you need the heat tool. Yeah. Sorry, Peggy. Sorry, darling. You're going to be broke just like the rest of us. The heat tool is very helpful. It's one of the first things, one of the first tools I actually bought. And I'm glad that I did because I'm impatient. If you're a patient person, maybe it's not necessary, but I'm impatient. All right. So I'm going to do some stenciling. Now, I know there are some very clever people who use like the blending tools to do their stenciling with. These ones that have the Velcro bit and the Velcro top. Look, I'm going to give it another go. Why not? Let's be brave together. I normally use makeup sponges, and these are cheap Kmart ones. Some of the lovely ladies at the retreat showed me their Art by Marlene ones because I don't wash the Kmart ones. I just cut them off until they're dead and then I'll chuck them. But I did have a feel and a try of one of the Art by Marlene sponges, so I think I might invest in some of them because you can wash those ones and reuse them. They felt really nice. But I've got a love-hate relationship with these tools. They never work for me. You watch like Claire and I think even Naomi, they'll just hop into their paint. I don't even put that much on, swish it around, and then it's just swish, 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 and it's all perfect. Now you watch me do it. No, I won't do it now because you're all watching. Make a liar out of me. I normally do it and the pad goes flying and I don't know what I do to these things. Oh, look at that beautiful color. Beautiful, beautiful color. This is lapis. It's gorgeous, isn't it? So with my stencil this time, what I'm going to try and do is cover these edges where the book paper meets that paint that I put down before because it's a pretty hard line and it doesn't look lovely. So when you're using either a makeup sponge or a tool like this, dip it very lightly into your paint and then dab it off. I'm hoping you can see that actually. Yeah, I think you can. If you have too much paint on what you're using to apply your stencil, it can rather leak underneath the stencil and you can get blobby messes. It's me. So just a little tip for you guys. Come down here. Hello, Michelle. Oh, you've already discovered that. Yeah, you'll find there's a lot of things you need, Peggy. Yeah, yeah. Looking at my stamps before, thinking, do I need more all and create stamps? And the answer is yes. Yes, I do. So I'll be doing another order soon too. I'm sure all my friends' partners, those that I've started in art journaling, are not too best thrilled with me. Oops. So I've gone over the stencil a little bit. I'm not worried. I'm not doing precise work here. We're not spelling letters. We're just doing some background mark making. So it is no big deal. I really want a question mark on my page, though. I like that. Up here. Oh, love it, love it. And then somewhere in the middle. Let's go. Let's go down a line like that. Bit of H. So yeah, some people use them in circles, like I'm doing now. I prefer to dab. This is why I think I just stick the makeup sponges because I end up dabbing anyway. Again, it sort of depends on the effect that you're going for. Best thing to do is to have a play. See? Oh, there we go. The collage paper is sort of going to be in the middle, so I'm not stressed about the gap there. Just be broke like the rest of us. We are happy brokes. We are, aren't we? We absolutely are, Sharon. I could not have said it better myself. I think Natalie has got half my paycheck this month. Oh dear. Drought eats away at your craft room. Yeah, that's very true, Tina. Look, as long as everyone's paying their bills and the things they need to first, then we can indulge in all the other things, right? Okay. Another one of my go-to stencils when I'm building a background layer is another one of Nat's. This one is called All the Dots. I actually, Naomi, you'll be very proud of me. I actually recently needed to clean this one because it got a mite bit dirty with some black paint that I was using. Now I am going to flick over to Art by Molly. I really do like her sky. And I'm out of Smurf, actually. Smurf is another really beautiful blue that she does. Okay, we'll pop a bit on. I'm actually not going to change my sponge on the end of my blending tool because I'm not fussed if the colours run. Like we're doing a blending thing here, so it actually doesn't matter. Fine with stencils like this one, the circle one. This works really well. You saw I just swished, I didn't have to dab, and the effect is exactly how I wanted it. So the use of these tools sometimes is what effect are you actually going for? With letters, we want them to be legible as letters. But with some mark making stencils like this one, if the stencil moves a bit or if it's not a crisp stenciling, doesn't really matter because you're getting that marked effect no matter what. Get up here and do some more. And like I said it before, I've been using a lot of blue recently. Welcome to the dark side. My husband is convinced I paid off Nat's first holiday home and then onto the second. Hey, we all helped, Karen. We all help pay for that home. Your partner doesn't know half the stuff you buy from Nat. You would see, Naomi, notice my stencil was so clean. Thank you for noticing. Oh, hiding the craft supplies. Have you seen those craft places that will say, oh, if you need a different receipt for you to show your partner without the actual cost on it, we can do that. We can deliver that for you. Love it, love it. All right, can we come back here? So we've got some blues. What else have we got going on? Some greys in there, some red. I don't know how I feel about putting blue and red together so much. Maybe instead of a true red, we can do something. Oh, that's better, isn't it? So this is Sedona. That is a really, really nice. It's not a brown, it's not a true red, it's sort of in between the two. I really do love this colour. And it goes really well with cheddar, which I think if we put them next to the collage paper, kind of looks similar to all those books there, doesn't it? Cheddar or mustard? Ooh, decisions now, decisions. I use mustard a lot. It's actually nearly empty. I think mustard might be the win. What do we reckon? Maybe an orangey. Yeah, yeah. See? Great call, Sharon. Your husband would buy more than you, Tina. Yeah. See, I'm actually very lucky because my husband does his own artistic thing. So he does tabletop gaming where they play with the little miniature statues of creatures and armies, but he actually loves putting them together and painting, and he does commissions for people. And so his art desk and his art supplies are actually more than mine, actually way more than mine. And his paintbrushes are very expensive, his paintbrushes. I was actually quite shocked. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going back to my stencil folder. And I just want one more, I think, for that background. And I think I'm going to go with what Sharon said. You like the cheddar? Sedona, yeah. I think that's a win. It's kind of that orangey, reddy, browny mix of wonderfulness. Butterflies on the chin. Maybe some love heart. I haven't used that one in a while. Look how clean that stencil is. This must be, haven't used it since I was, oh no, the last thing I used was some sort of white. It's all there, I can still see it. Now that I've pulled it out, I actually don't know if hearts are the thing for me. No, I'm committing. They are. I like them. All right, so I've got the Sedona. And this time I'll use the makeup sponge, the cheap one. These are Kmart ones. Same thing though with your blending tool. Swoosh it into the paint and then just dab it off. So it's soaked into the sponge a little bit and not dripping wet with paint. Mhm. Get that down. I think I want some of the smaller ones. Through down. Oh yeah, it actually looks really nice with the blue. I'm not the best with my color theory. And sometimes I think, oh, these colors are going to work really well together, and they just don't. But also, as well as not being very clever with it, like Naomi's color theory is just astounding. I love watching her work. Same with Claire. Their color theory knowledge blows me away. But sometimes I put two colors together that I actually really like how they go together. And other people are like, oh, they don't go together at all. And I was like, oh, but I like them. So this is your reminder that your art is about you and what you like and what you feel looks good and what you feel expresses yourself. Don't get me wrong, color theory is important. Um, oh, it's a little corner here. Color theory is very important. It's good to know, when you're going to make accidental mud. It's really good to have complementary and contrasting colors. And then, of course, there's placement with composition and all that sort of stuff. But just remember, this is also about you and how you feel. I really like that. And I think what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab my mustard. I'm going to keep the same stencil. And I'm going to add a bit of mustard to the leftover Sedona I've got on my palette here. And use the sponge to mix them together. And then I'm going to go again with the same stencil. Slightly offset from the ones I just did though. So it should be a little bit lighter. And now it looks like a layer. So the darker ones are in the background. I think I want a little bit more mustard. The darker ones are in the background. So this is where color theory is important. If you're adding two colors together, you want to know, roughly what kind of color you're going to end up with. So push the darker ones back and bring out a top layer with some lighter hearts. Oh yeah, I like how that's working. Oops, slide. You'll also notice I'm sort of sticking to the same area of the stencil. Again, that's just to give the page some cohesion, especially a stencil like this where these are, I think these are called wonky hearts. Beautiful hand drawn. They're all very unique and individual. So I want to just put the bigger one there. And we're using hearts because we love books. Oh, oh, there we go. That looks pretty effective. And what I might just do is a couple up here that doesn't have the darker ones in the background. Just because I've got a very blank space up here from this contrasting colour. There we go. And I'm also putting a couple of the hearts off the page. So as your eyes flow up and down across the page, it looks like it's continued on from a story. All right, you like the cheddar? It's Sedona, yeah. That's why I got there mostly on my lunch breaks. He doesn't have to know. Nicely done, Michelle. Oh, he doesn't have no hobbies at all, Karen. My goodness, did he read? Reading's a hobby. It's your art make you happy when you are done. Absolutely. Absolutely. A color wheel. Yeah. Karen, they're great. They changed your life and your way of doing colors. So this is the color wheel for those unfamiliar. I think I got this at a really junk store years ago, actually. So what this does is it shows you colors on the opposite side of the wheel when they're mixed together. Um, will make mud. Colors side by side are complementary. So, for example, if I was using green into a blue, I wouldn't be too worried if some of the paint was wet because it won't make mud, but green and red would absolutely make mud. But then the opposite side of the wheels are also contrasting and complementary as well. This is a really handy one because as I spin it around, it'll tell me if I wanted to know if I added red to violet, it sort of gives you an idea of what the color would look like. So it's a handy little tool. One of the other tools, and if Naomi's still on, she can, or somebody else, if somebody else wants to have a look for me, there's boxes that Nat used to sell, and they're all color theory cards. So you pull it out and it shows you what colors will go well together, what strength to make them. I actually use them for my I crochet as well. I use them for crocheting blankets and things. It gives you basically a color scheme to use. So if you're not good with color theory, I've actually got those boxes. I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head. They're called the color. They're all the way in the other room. Sorry, otherwise I'd grab them quickly for you. Or something they're called. I'm sure someone's going to tell me. Good evening, Emily. Thank you for joining us. No, no, reading. Too busy working. It says my hobby. That's enough. Well, tell him to join in on our hobby. Do it with you. Do it together. How lovely is that? I actually really love sitting here at night. Just me and my hubby crafting side by side. He's obviously, he's often watching his own thing. Often watching my own thing, but it's parallel play, isn't it? Okay, so I want to use this quote, and I've got some paint on there, but that's okay. Color cubes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The color cubes. It's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut the quote off with some scissors because I don't want to wet rip tear that. So for those new to the collage papers, you've probably seen this technique before. We're going to use a paintbrush and some water to get our edge. Some of the newer, they are great. Yeah, the color cubes are great. I do actually use them. I have found them very, very helpful, especially if you're like me and you're a bit color dense. That's what I'm calling myself, color dense. Some of the newer collage papers from Nat, it's actually hard to get the water on the front. So if you're finding that's a problem, what I've been doing is flipping them over. And this is, I've just realized, going to be tricky for me to demonstrate. But if I hold it up to the light backwards, I can then see the image opposite and I can use my paintbrush on the background to get the image that I want. And it tears a lot easier. So if you're having that issue where the ink is so beautiful because it's so vibrant and colorful, but it's not actually ripping the paper, let's get there and I'll show you what I mean. So this was something that really intimidated me when I first started using collage paper. Oh, hello, Peach. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, not tonight, darling. Not tonight. Down you go. Don't scratch me. There you go. Sorry, guys. Peach, she's been joining me on my crafting table a lot recently. So yeah, one of the things I was very intimidated when I first started this kind of mixed media art was using these collage papers. I was a little bit like the book paper. They're so pretty. I didn't want to ruin them. What if I accidentally rip off this butterfly's wing? But what I learned with this kind of art is if I rip off the butterfly's wing, oh well, I can stamp, I can stencil to blend it in. It's not a problem. But this one is actually not a problem on the front. I think it's the one that have the really bright colours. I'm sure if you've tried to do this, you know what I'm talking about. It's just a bit trickier to. The other issue here is I haven't got a very big paintbrush. I don't know if I'm keeping these butterflies yet. By Sarah Renee Clark. Oh, the colour cubes, yeah. Oh, you use them for your colouring book pages, Michelle. That's a really good idea. It's a really good idea. My beautiful old boss at Christmas time bought me the Anxiety colouring in book, and it's been really lovely and relaxing, actually. I've been using the Tombow markers on it. Right up here that I want to get rid of. Okay, there we go. So yeah, using the collage papers used to really intimidate me. I was scared about getting it wrong. I was scared about accidentally ripping it. I have ripped a few. I actually ripped one poor girl's face half off one time. Um, but you know what? I glued it back together. Like I put half of it on the page, glued the other half next to it, and it was not a problem. Finding myself constantly wanting to put these girls right smack bang in the middle. See, I did it with her as well. Don't know what it is about it. All right. So we're going to put her down with some gel medium. Now, if you don't mind the background that you've just created coming through on the lighter parts of the collage paper, do nothing here. But I actually don't want to give her writing in her face. So I'm going to roughly remember where her face is generally going to sit. Hi, Georgia. Thank you for joining. Oh, and oh, Sandra. Hello, Sandra, darling. How are you, lovely? I'm going to put some gesso down. Oh, if I can open it. Yep, I can. So back into Dina Wakley gesso. I'm going to put a very thin layer on, and I don't want to use that paintbrush because it's a bit thick. I want to see the flatter one. So this one's, I think it's called the Filbert head. So it's really thick, whereas the Dina Wakley one here, it's a flatter, wider one. So I'm just going to use a little bit. We're going to put a bit of white around roughly where her face is going to go. Just like that. And then before I pack it all up, I'm just going to quickly do a placement test. Take the paintbrush out of my mouth so you can hear me. So I'm going to go a little bit lower because I want to cover that neck a little bit as well. Now, I'm not stressing too much if it's not completely covered. Like, I'm not sure if you can see on the screen. I can see some of the writing through my gesso. That's fine. Because by the time I put some gel medium down with her, we won't be able to see too much. That looks pretty good. I think we've covered where I want to. Be in the paint. Love the butterflies and books. They're gorgeous, aren't they? They're just absolutely divine. Even the really abstracty ones, I really liked. I've just made a gesso mess all over my fingers. So excuse me. Do-do-do. Oh, what size journal? So I'm actually using the Art by Marlene journal, darling. Um, Very sure. It's bigger than six. Let me show you what I'll do is, oh, where did I put my other journals? This is, I know, the 6x6 journal by Uniquely. Creative. So that's it on the page. So it must be maybe a 9 by 9 size, and it is an Art by Marlene one. I don't think it's got any imagery on it, but if that's the 6 by 6 in front of it, if you're familiar with that, I hope that's helpful. A little bit later, I can put up the link unless Naomi can find it for me now, or which one I'm actually using. Other than my art journaling obsession, I love my Colouring Whimsy Girls book. Oh, hair combos. Whimsy Girls. Is that one of the Jane Davenport ones? Oh, sorry. Using my heat tool. Heads up, everyone. A little bit rude of me, doesn't it? No, a little bit more. There we go. So we want it touch dry before we put the collage paper on. And I'm going back to my Dina Wakley. I bought these are cheap brushes from Kmart, because what I found with my gel medium, and probably because I used too much, that it was destroying my brushes. So I didn't want to use my really nice brushes on them. But since switching to Dina Wakley's soft gel medium, it's not destroying my brushes anymore. So that goes to show you what actually the good quality products are actually worth it, especially when you're pairing them with your other, you know, good quality products. If I'm going to spend the money to get the beautiful by Marlene paintbrushes, which are just divine to use with paint, or the new ones, I actually really love these ones that I got from Nat. I don't remember what brand they are. I'm on fire tonight with not remembering things. Yeah, so use a better quality product brings out the best in your other products as well. So when you start to feel guilty about things, that's just what you say to yourself. No, 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 no. I need the Dina Gel Medium because I've got the Art by Maybelline paintbrushes. All right. And I'm hoping Naomi saw how restrained I was with how much gel medium I used that time. Mm. That doesn't have those journals in stock. Oh, damn. White large journal. Yeah, I didn't just know which journal I was going to use actually until I sort of was already started. So I didn't have time to check. But it's only slightly bigger than the 6 by 6. Um, yeah. And actually, I've had this one for a while and I will say I don't actually go to it a lot. I do prefer the 6 by 6 or the fuller A4 styly ones anyway. All right, so now that she's sitting down, we can see that her background doesn't entirely match my background. So we're going to do something about that now. If I can stop getting white checks all over the place. Thank you. Okay, so it's kind of a sagey. I don't think it's quite. I think it's more an aloe or a sagey color. Mhm. I think I'm going to go with sage. I think that's the best match. And where is my makeup sponge? Oh, thank you, Emily. Thank you for joining us too. Sort of coming together. I never normally have a plan with what I'm doing. I just sometimes I just start with a background, but tonight I knew I think I picked her first. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've been playing with ways of blending collage papers and color. So I've just used sage, which I think is a good match for her background. I've chopped my cheap Kmart tubey makeup sponge, not an expensive one. And I'm going to come around and sort of blend her out like this. And use my finger to get rid of, or I've put it accidentally over the butterfly. So there's no official term for what I'm doing. I'm just playing around really with paint and paper and see what happens. I did this on another one of the book pages. I showed you earlier, and I think I went too contrasting the color with the white on the really dark background to, what am I calling? To shadow it out, I suppose. I just like it because it's sort of a smoky effect, shadowy, smoky effect as I go around. I didn't cut this sponge very well. There's a bit in the middle where I'm missing. Come around, bring it down here. So I'm just trying to bring out a color from her background into my background because they weren't exactly matching. The other way to do this is to stick her down first and then build the background from her out. Because I wanted the book paper down, I just did it a little bit differently. So now that we've sort of put that effect there, I'm just going to get a little bit more paint and a paintbrush this time. Which Too many options in front of me. Can't find the one I want. This doesn't happen to me when I'm not in a live. It only happens to me when I'm in a live. My paintbrushes run and hide away from me when I'm trying to do this. Lovely ladies. Oh, that was too. But you know when you just want the one that you want? Ah, found it. Here we go. So this is another art by Marlene. I do think they're my favorite in paintbrushes. Size 12. And now I'm going to get a bit messy. I'm just going to come in here, dab a bit of paint on, then I'm going to use my finger to blend it. So it looks like it was always there. So same over here, just a few lines in there. Blend it. I'm going to try not to get it on her face, if at all possible. Put it at the top here where there's a couple of stark lines. Just blend it out a bit. Oh, sorry, Mrs. Butterfly. Mm. Oh, you're in Queensland visiting your family. It must be warm up there, surely. Like, I remember visiting my brother going back 18 years ago. He lives in Brisbane. And it was June. And it was like 23, 24 degrees. And he was freezing. And I was like, where's the pool? Let's go for a swim. So I'm sort of just doing a touch up here where I didn't quite get the blend effect that I wanted with the sponge. So maybe here in this corner a bit. There you go. Now, the other thing you could do, maybe we'll give it a go, is just very lightly, now that the sponge is a bit dry, ghost up to the corners. This is going to be a really, really subtle effect. Just blend that a little bit further. Like that. It's coming along nicely. Being warm, but still cold in the mornings. Yeah. Yeah, it would be, I suppose. Still, nothing is as hot as Perth weather. Oh, sorry, bumping the camera now. Anybody here from Perth or West Australia? That is hot, hot, hot. Oh, yeah, I think I've just taken the camera off kilter. Sorry, everyone. Oh, there we go. Goodness me. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of stamping now, and I'm just deciding what stamps I'm going to use. It's just too many options, really, is the main problem. Mm. Mixed Media Marks, my favourite go-to. Of nuts, I really, really like this one. Kind of like I think it's bubble wrap. I think it's supposed to be bubble wrap. And I like it. It's grungy and it's messy and it's imperfect circles. So I love it. So, oh, my stamp pad might need a reducing. I'm not using a stamp block because I'm using it for mark stamps, mark making. So I'm not concerned with absolute flat, perfect, crisp images. I am using it though to try and blend some of that transition from the collage paper into the background, just to make them look a little bit more cohesive. Now, I'm going to pop over to Mixed Media Marks 2. Anyone who caught Matt's release the other day was very excited when she said she was planning to go onto her beanbag and design some more stamps, do some more doodles for stamps. Yes, please, Nat. Yes, please. Okay. So one stamps like these, if you move the direction you stamp them in, can kind of give you different effects as well. So I'm also not fussed, sort of shaping her with this one. Actually, kind of like that effect. If I get the stamp over the collage paper, because it's kind of what we want. We want her to blend with the entire page, and to do that, we want the layers to seem like they're fluid and moving in and over each other a little bit. A little bit. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm getting another wet wipe out to clean. Whoops. Have it off. How am I going for time? Where does the time go when you're having so much fun with beautiful people? All right. I want to use a wordy set now. Um, this one is called Won't Let You Down. This one is called Won't Let You Down. This is the current version of it. I've got the old red rubber stamp version of it. So what I've decided to do, I upgraded obviously, because this is an excellent, excellent version, but I'm only using this one for ink, and I've kept my red rubber one to use with paint. If you don't clean your stamps off properly when you do use paint on them, the stamp will lose the ability to get a nice image. For a mark making stamp, that's not a big deal, but you can see this one's very old. I've used it to death. It is one of my favorite stamps. But now what I'm going to do is, yeah, I still try and clean it off, obviously, because I still want to be able to use it, but I'm only using this one for paint. Claire taught us all the fancy trick. So this is a Posca pen. It's a 15mm huge beast. It's huge. I use it for mark making, but also this. So I'm just going to put some down on my palette, like that. Grab my stamp. I've got an arrow on the back of my stamp so I can remember which way my writing is up. The last thing you want to do is get upside down writing on your page, because that would be embarrassing. And I'm going to put some white stamping all the way around her on top of that black stamping I just did. I'm kind of giving her like an archy background, an arch background around her. Does anyone have a good idea for a quote for me? That stamp's always amazing, can't wait. I know. I cannot wait to see what she comes up with. I love her stamps. So I'm also not keeping it straight. I'm sort of angling, moving around. Going to go on the books there a little bit. I just want to hit this top bit a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Interesting page, isn't it? But I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Mm, yes. I'm going to grab Marie. I'm going to pop it on this white Oscar paint just a little bit. Just a little bit. So I'm going to get my fan brush. I'm going to dip my fan brush in my clean water. And I'm going to put my hands over her face because I don't want to give her a spotty face. So I'm going to mix that together. Look at that beautiful colour. Oh, and we're going to do splatters. I didn't want to splatter in white because it would take away from the white stamping that we just did. And I'm not sure if the camera is picking up these splatters for you. Let me raise the page. Hopefully you can see them. but it's just enough of a bit of a flick of interest in a different color from the background and all the rest. Oh, thank you, Sharon. A book a day keeps reality away. Perfect. I'm using that. That's brilliant. Let's do it. All right, let's go get rid of my paint mess here. A very, very messy artist. So, to clean your stamp and make sure you do clean your stamp after using any kind of paint, what I do is I go in with a cheap Kmart brush, bit of clean water, tap it in the water, and just get that brush smushed in between the stamp. Back away. At one point or another, I didn't do a very good job, and that's why there's that big white stain in the background. I actually think that's the time when I got the new stamp and decided that this one would just be the old one to be little bit less careful with. I am not a stencil cleaner. I wanna say I used to. When I first started, I meticulously cleaned my stencils. And then it just got to the point where I was like, hang on, I prefer the art part, not the cleaning. But Naomi loves her stencils clean. She's not wrong. I'm not wrong. You do you. Do you the way you want to do you. Um, I will clean my stencils if I'm using anything other than acrylic paint. The great thing about acrylic paint is no matter when I go back to clean them, whether it's today when I use them or in a month's time when it's too caked on, it'll come off. But if I'm using any kind of paste or texture paste or heavy medium that dries hard, clean your stencil straight away. Otherwise, it can ruin your stencils. Such a good idea for the red stamp for paint and clear for ink. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if she's going to update them anyway, she's updated a lot. Nat updated a lot of her favorite best-selling stamps. Best thing to do. Just going to pop the heat gun on, guys. So bare your ears. Mhm. This is just difficult in winter because these spots just don't want to dry. Mhm. That's a bit frustrating. All right, we'll give him a little bit longer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. You can buy brush cleaner liquid, which cleans hard acrylic off brushes. Oh, I wonder if that would work for stamps too. That's a really good point. So, my mother-in-law was a rep for Stampin' Up, and she gave me this stamp cleaning thing. Um, I tried to use it. It was like a case, and it had like a felt side and a dry side, and you were supposed to rub it along. I think it's only for cleaning ink off though, and I think that's why I didn't have any success when I tried it after using paint. Sound paintbrush works just as well, but you might be right there. Um, Liz, if there's already a cleaner that cleans hard acrylic off brushes, Naomi, I am so proud you've been cleaning your stencils left. Darling, we have enough cleaning in our lives without having to clean during our art time as well, my love. That's my only point. So I'm just taking my Uniball gel pen and I'm just going through and just highlighting some of the features in her face. I don't want to go too heavy-handed here because she's actually got very soft um, features and she's got very soft, I mean, they're beautiful deep colors, but they're also soft at the same time. I don't want to take away from that. So I'm just highlighting just a few things. Again, it's just another way of bringing her to life off the page. If her eyes were open, and this is a trick that my beautiful Naomi taught me, I would use a white pen, color in the whites of her eyes, and that just brings the person to life again off the page even more. She's got her beautiful eyes closed. So yeah, I'm not going very heavy-handed with this, just very lightly. Other collage papers, sometimes I do go quite heavy-handed with doing that. Susan. Okay, now I've lost my quote. I think of you every time I think, yeah, Susan, every time I talk about stencils, I mention Naomi and cleaning them. All right. What I need to do is find my quote. 1 second. I'm just going to go back a little bit. A book a day keeps reality away. Book a day keeps reality away. All right. So I'm going in with a Posca paint pen. This is a 5 mil, 5M one, bullet shaped. And because we've been arching her this whole time, I think I'm going to book a day keeps reality away. And we're going to arch the quote around her as well, which is another way that we're going to blend this sage color into the background. There have been many times I've done this where I've run out of room because I've started with too big and had to shrink up. Some people would probably maybe use a pencil and outline it first. I'm a sort of fly by the seat of your pants. I'm just going to go with it. So, wish me luck. Book a day keeps reality. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. It also took me quite a while. I probably shouldn't talk while I'm trying to spell things. It took me a long time to be comfortable. Come on, pen. With my handwriting in my pages as well. I used to really, really hate my handwriting. And I'd see, um, Claire's handwriting. And Nat has the most beautiful handwriting, doesn't she? Oh, oh, it's close. Made it. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect quote, Sharon. Thank you. It was Sharon, wasn't it? It was Sharon. Susan. Susan. Sorry, Susan. Oh, Michelle's an obsessive stencil cleaner too. Oh, thank you, Tina. You've been targeted. Naomi feels targeted. That's fair enough. Just like Tammy did with her avoidance of using orange, right? Same thing. Yeah, it took me a long time to get comfortable with using. And what I found was when I was trying to replicate the way that other people wrote their letters, like Claire. So Claire does that, the A that looks like that. I don't naturally write my A's like that. So every time I tried to replicate what other people were doing with their letters, it actually made my lettering way worse. So my advice on being comfortable with your own handwriting is make it your own handwriting. Don't try and copy the way other people write. The one thing I do that I've been taught by some very clever people is mixing up capitals with lowercase. I really like the effect that that gives, that sort of grungy effect. But yeah, otherwise, do what comes and flows naturally for you. I think I might call it there, my beautiful creative community. I am going to come in with a white pen now, once that quote's dry, and just do some highlights on it. I might even go over it again one more time to thicken it up. I'll use the same size Posca pen. I won't be a different size, but I can show you here on the A. I'll just go a little bit further down this side just to make it a bit thicker and then come along with a white highlight. But I'll definitely post a picture when I'm done. I have kept you all on this beautiful Saturday evening long enough. Thank you so much for joining me. And I can't wait to see what you guys do with the new release. Don't forget, Library Days. Thank you so much, everyone. Oh, thank you, Daphne. Thank you, Sharon. Bye, Kate. Thank you for joining me. Oh, my pleasure, Karen. I love it. It warms my soul. All right. Good night, everyone.